Hello, my name is Joshua Clapstein. This is my PowerPoint on Obesity the Epidemic. I am a student of NATE and my instructor is Miss Nicole Dunlop. So, introduction. The human body isn't meant to be as plump as a lot of people are. I mean, sure, some humans have always been larger than others, but in today's society, with our greatest food, our best medications, and our longest lifespans ever recorded, there is a condition that affects millions of people, known as obesity. So, fun fact, in the year 2000 to 2001, obesity has increased in the USA by 5.6%. So, what is obesity? Obesity is when you have excess body fat that has a negative effect on the person. Essentially, if you have 20% or greater body fat than you should, you are considered obese, according to the Body Mass Index, or BMI. Continued, obesity has some pretty nasty effects, from cardiovascular disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and cancer, to name a few. Ultimately, obesity comes down to the individual and how many calories they intake and expel. So it's your diet, essentially. So, the stigma around obesity. Culture and the media play an integral role in how we view each other, ourselves, and the world around us. We're always watching television and adverts that show toned men and women, and the media shows us this as being the ideal human. Collectively, media outlets and such are telling the general public what is perfect. And the stigma around obese individuals comes down to how people view them in the public's eye. Many of these individuals are shown as being gluttonous, lazy, unmotivated, unattractive, and just overall not pleasant. Continued. Think for a moment about your daily life and all these media outlets that you use. It could be Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, the newspaper, Twitter, what have you. And think about how you constantly see shaming of obesity. Now try to put yourself in the shoes of one of these individuals. Now think about your daily life and how you have dreams, you have goals, aspirations to make. But now think about all of that with the added stress of being obese. So continued, individuals whom are obese generally are less motivated to work out, and as such, they get anxiety, low self-esteem, and depression, which isn't that great. So what are the effects of obesity on the human body? Well, the human body is a wonderful machine. It has lots of moving parts and cells that work in unions to allow us to do the various many things that we do in our daily lives. From running, to picking your nose, to dancing at prom, whatever. The body's a pretty crazy thing. Yet, not all we do is good for the body. There are some negative effects, and prevalent conditions what come with becoming obese. For instance, type 2 diabetes is the most common, also known as diabetes mellitus type 2. So, continued, diabetes type 2 essentially is when the body resists insulin or doesn't produce enough insulin. And insulin is the body's energy source. That's all the carbohydrates and sugars you intake. Now, when your body doesn't get enough energy to power itself, there are some pretty dire effects. For instance, stroke, kidney failure, cancer, and even heart attack for those who have type 2 diabetes. So is there any way to end obesity? Well, currently there's a somewhat new idea that has sprung up called the ketogenic diet, where you fight calories with calories. Essentially, an individual's diet whom is on the ketogenic diet would primarily be approximately 75% of their caloric intake comes from fats and healthy unsaturated fats like seeds, fish, nuts, meat, fruits and vegetables that are usually dark green, very fibrous. Another 20% from protein, so fish, eggs, meat. And then the remaining 5% comes from the carbohydrates that exist in the fruit and vegetables that you've been intaking. The ketogenic diet also has another effect to it. When your body is forced to use fat as an energy source, it absorbs the fat that already exists in the body from when sugar or glucose was more abundant. And this is very important for individuals who have epilepsy or are prone to strokes, as this is a way to negate that. Of course, exercise is a very common and easy way to end obesity. Swimming and running are ideal examples to this, as they exert the whole body. Usually, when an individual uses exercise as a way to end obesity, for the first while, they'll lose pounds pretty quickly, but then they'll reach a weight loss plateau in where the metabolism equals out and it slows down the calorie burning. To negate this, it's best to have a healthy diet to go along with it. In conclusion, obesity is a condition that is curable, and there are a few ways to avoid even becoming obese. It's just another challenge that we all have to face, is the ability to become obese. By staying fit and active, as well as following a healthy lifestyle and diet, are the best ways to negate ever getting obesity. To summarize, obesity and all of its negative qualifications is a curable condition, and it's all about keeping track of your calorie intake and expelling, and have a healthy diet. That's about it. Well, thank you.